I love the media. They know things before I know. I'm in touch with both Jeev, Milkha Singh, and Sonia, his daughter. And in fact, we have a special screening, and both of them are invited. We have a special screening on the 10th anniversary in the next couple of days. And it's to honor the memory of Milkha Singh.
Yeah.
It's like a Shraddhanjali for him. And the entire cast and crew will be present and all that. Also, the film will be released on 6th August in 30 cities in PVR theaters, just coming after 2 weeks. If you're feeling strongly about something, you need to tell that story. That's why art is born. Great poetry has been born like that, down the ages. Expressions have been born down the ages like that. Ideologies have been formed and evolved.
I read somewhere that there is an alternate version to Delhi 6.
Yeah, there is.
Will you release it someday?
If somebody wants to release it, I'd love to. I'm not a front-end producer. I'm more a writer, director, producer who does the hard production work and everything.
Hi Rakesh sir, welcome to News 18.
Thank you for having me over.
Absolutely, it's our pleasure. So there are lots of books here. I was just going through them. Are you an avid reader?
To confess, I'm a very bad reader.
Okay.
It takes me a very long time to finish a book. Like some books are your favorite books, so you keep reading them again and again.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Can't call me an avid reader, but I love to read, yeah.
Great. But is there any piece of literature that you would want to translate for the big screen?
Like there are so many as such. Is there not just one? The choices is tremendous, and especially coming from this land, which is such an ancient land. There is so much. You go to the mythical era and their mythologies. You come to the middle centuries. There's the whole bhakti movement.
Yeah.
There's Kabir, there is Tulsidas, and there's the Sufi movement.
Yeah.
There is so much on them. Then there are the writers of the 30s and the 40s, and there's absolutely so much. But I somehow I also feel it's a very interesting question to start with. I also feel films also have a capacity to become a part of literature. It is a modern day art form, and you can tell your stories and somewhere find yourself in the shelves. These days you'll find yourselves in digital mediums.
Yes, that's right. Also, we'll have to speak about Bhaag Milkha Bhaag. It's a decade. And so I was reading one of your interviews, which happened, I think, just after the release of the film. This was 2013. You said that, after Milkha Singh, he watched the film. He told you that मेरे अंदर का जो नफरत था वो आपने तोड़ दिया है, which I think is such a beautiful thing to say. You had dedicated a post, for him after he passed away. Have you kept in touch with the family even after that?
Most certainly, and I'm in touch with both Jeev, Milkha Singh, and Sonia, his daughter. And in fact, we have a special screening, and both of them are invited. We have a special screening on the 10th anniversary in the next couple of days, and it's to honor the memory of Milkha Singh.
Yeah.
It's like a Shraddhanjali for him. And the entire cast and crew will be present and all that. Also, the film will be released on 6th August in 30 cities in PVR theaters, just coming after 2 weeks.
Yes.
And there's something very special about it. The film has been adapted in Indian Sign Language for the deaf and dumb. So there will be a box where even if you couldn't experience the film, earlier. You would not now be able to do that. So that's something which is very close to my heart.
Yes, yes, I can imagine. Uh, the film, it went on to do extremely well at the box office. The reviews were great. But looking back, do you wish that you could have done something differently? Is there any thought in your head of that sort?
It's so difficult to answer that.
Yeah.
Answer that. The thing is, once you made a film or you've told a story or any piece of art for that matter, and once it goes out in the public domain, it doesn't remain yours.
Yeah.
And it's not mine, it belongs to the people now. And if they want to change something, they can most certainly go and do it or tell me about it. But I feel now I'm just a spoke in the wheel. The film has grown and keeps growing, and it's inspired all of us, and it's inspired people around the globe. When Carl Lewis saw the film, he presented his golden baton, which he won 4x400 meter relay in the LA Olympics '84 to Milkha sir. He saw the film and he didn't know him, and he just got inspired. And there are so many stories which I come across, so many people I meet across, and not just in India, anywhere in the world, and they all share how personal the film is to them and how it's inspired them in their moments when they've been feeling down and out, and it's uplifted them.
So, I think Farhan Akhtar is the only actor you have actually repeated in your films, if I'm not wrong.
That's not true.
The leading actor I'm talking about.
I worked with Vaida ji in 2 films. Rang De and Delhi 6.
Delhi 6.
Amit ji Aks, and he made a special appearance in Delhi 6. Sonam in Milkha and Delhi 6 again. Pawan Malhotra, Om Puri, definitely Farhan, and I hope we get to work more and more and can put many more collaborations behind us, and because we always enjoy working a lot when we work together, and somehow we are able to tap into something which even we don't know we have inside us, and bring the best out of each other. And Atul Kulkarni, sorry, my memory is bad and I might be forgetting names, but normally it happens. It's happened with all filmmakers and a lot of actors also. We are like gypsies, we make a movie and we move on, and then we meet again in life, and we travel a distance again and then meet again. Especially when you enjoy the process.
Right.
The hunger for working again is so much more deeper.
Yeah. So is there another collaboration happening again soon between you and Farhan?
Yeah, like I said, I wish and I hope. And I keep working on simultaneously on a lot of scripts.
Yes.
And as and when they get ready, then we go out with the process of casting. So right now I am in the midst of many films, and let's see which one sees
the light of day.
Which one goes on the floor first. The idea is to make all of them, but then time and variables and the universe has to conspire.
That is true. Sir, also I would want to ask you something. So Rang De released in 2006.
That's right.
And I think Aamir Khan directed Taare Zameen Par a year later. But what I'm coming to is, do you think it's easy or difficult to direct actors who are also directors? Let's say, Farhan or an Aamir Khan.
No, an actor is an actor. That in itself is an extremely difficult job as such. So once you're working with an actor, It's not about easy or difficult. It's about whether you've hit the right chord. Are you making the same film which you have in your mind? Are they seeing it in a similar fashion? For me, it's always been a very joyful experience working with all my actors. I love them a lot, and for what they've given me, what I've learned from them, what we have created together, and what we've given each other. So that's it's a blessing.
Yeah. But do you think?
But I must add here,
Yes.
it's not just the actors. It's quite often in the media glare and under the lights, we talk about actors because they are the poster boys and girls.
Yes.
It's from behind the camera I've learned so much from my peers and from my collaborators. Whether it's A.R. Rahman, whether it's Gulzar Bhai,
Of course.
whether it's Shankar Ehsaan Loy, Binod Pradhan, who's shot 3 of my films, P.S. Bharti, who's produced my films and edited Rang De and Aks and Bhaag Milkha Bhaag. The list goes on and on. My sound designers and you know my the camera crew and all that art direction. Sameer Chanda. It's amazing to be in the midst of so many talented people.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, what I was asking you is, you know, in this day and age, in this climate that we are in, do you think it would have been possible to release a Delhi 6 or a Rang De Basanti today?
Why do you ask that?
You know, we are so quick to jump to conclusions today, so quick with our opinions, you know, about any film that doesn't necessarily take a political standing but talks about the, you know, the socio-political situations of the country. That's why I'm asking you.
I don't see things that way.
Okay.
If you're feeling strongly about something, you need to tell that story. That's why art is born. Great poetry has been born like that, down the ages. Expressions have been born down the ages like that. Ideologies have been formed and evolved. I don't see any issue about when you pick up 2 of my films. Bhaag Milkha Bhaag is a film where after the screening with Milkha sir, and because he had suffered the partition, he was the victim of partition.
Yes.
He was 12 years old and he had witnessed the massacre of his family and the entire village, 2,000 people, and either side people were suffering. Over 10 million migrated from each side. It was, in the history of humanity, is the biggest migration ever. Can you imagine that? How much people suffered, especially women, children. All that. And it also formed deep-rooted opinions and hatred. So when Milkha sir saw the film for the first time, I still remember, and it was just a couple of days before release, and he held my hand and had tears in his eyes, and he said कि बच्चे मेरे दिल में जो थोड़ी बहुत भी नफरत बाकी थी ना, वो आज पिघल गई है. And we end the film with him running in Lahore.
Yeah.
And the then president of Pakistan says कि पुत्र आज तो भाग्या नहीं है, उड़ गया है. आज से दुनिया तेरे को एक सीख नहीं है, फ्लाइंग सीख के नाम से जानेगी. So he got his title from the land actually he belonged to. एक country होती है, एक वतन होता है.
जी.
तो वो सब है. So is that the right film to make today? 100%. Anything, any piece of art that fills in the gap is a must.
Yeah, absolutely. Very true. Yes. I read somewhere that there is an alternate version to Delhi 6.
Yeah, there is.
Will you release it someday?
If somebody wants to release it, I'd love to. I'm not a front-end producer. I'm more a writer, director, producer who does the hard production work and everything. So, yeah, I would like to bring it maybe on its 20th anniversary or 15th anniversary.
Okay.
It has a different beginning and end,
Yeah.
and a
Okay.
bit of different editing.
Right, right. So I was reading one of your interviews. You actually spoke about, how after making the film, I think you sort of, it took a toll on you. You slipped into alcoholism. I read that. But what I want to ask is, today, do you think you're mentally more equipped to deal with, be it a film doing really well or a film doing not very well?
That's the wonderful thing about life. It's like you go through cycles, and you go through your own ups and downs. And not just me, I'm not special. Everybody does. You do, I do, our parents did, and our children will. It's it's how you face your down moments,
Yeah.
and how you bounce out of them. They're all a part of learning in your life. So you can't define things so easily, which are
Yeah.
complicated,
Yeah.
and have a very 2 plus 2 is equal
Yeah.
to 4 answer.
True.
It does deserve a longer conversation. It's a different subject altogether. It's about life you're talking, not about movies.
Yes, that is true. Now that I
Yeah.
think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. From a filmmaker's point of view, what was your reaction when Mirzia didn't get the kind of eyeballs that it should have?
You win some, you lose some. Sachin has played 346 matches. He scored 100 centuries.
Yes.
He did get out at times when he couldn't even make 10 runs. So that's fine. That teaches you to course correct yourself and be a little more in tune with your communication. And that's about it.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But what I got out of Mirza was immense. It's like the music
Of course.
completely has evolved me as a different, and that's a very strong part of a cinema. And music will be remembered forever. So if you can create an album, collaborate, creating an album which can be remembered forever, it's like a wow moment in your life.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
सब कुछ तो नहीं मिलता ना एक संग
वो तो है. That I completely agree with. There are some reports of you collaborating with Surya for Karna. Is that happening?
I love the media. They know things before I know. There are 3 subjects right now which I'm working on. Karna is definitely one of them.
Okay.
And there are other 2. And wherever the variables will fall in place, the universe will conspire, that film will get made first. Yeah.
Okay.
There are a lot of variables to make a film.
That is true. Right.
And it's also a headspace. Are you ready for a certain film at that point of time in your life? Because for me, each film is unique, and it's not reliving your success, definitely learning from your failures. Is every time you have to, I approach a film as if it's my first film. And as if, like wide-eyed, kid in an ice cream parlor and doesn't know which one to, wants everything.
Yes, absolutely. Very true.
It's an adventure, and it's a challenge, and it's a choice you have to make. So it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Yes. Very lastly, before we let you go, again, going back to 2013, I remember another interview, you said that I would want to make a biopic or a biographical drama on 2 figures. One of them was Mother Teresa, the other one was Swami Vivekananda. Is that something you're still toying with? Is there still at the back of your head, do you want to do these 2 projects?
When I have the courage.
Wow.
Yeah, it needs a lot of courage to attempt Vivekananda, and 10 times more to attempt Mother Teresa. They are game changers.
Yes.
They are social reformers, and they actually gave their life for others.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is true. Well, on that note, sir, thank you so much. And here's to many more years. We are looking forward to watching everything that you have to offer us.
Namaskar, I'm Rakeysh Omprakash Mehra, and you're watching me on News 18.